So we have Mr. Nikunj Kumar Srivastava, IAS Principal Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Government of Madhya Pradesh. Thank you so much for being with us today, sir.
Thank you, Fahim. Thank you, GovConnect. Thank you all the sponsors for inviting me today to, so-called Silicon Valley of India and a beautiful city. And I'm really very happy to be here. And so the inaugural session was there were some very, very good speakers, and I thoroughly enjoyed. So there are many, Madhya Pradesh is not so much known for IT, but yes, it is one of the emerging states, I will say, like emerging technology. We have a very, so far IT investment is concerned, Indore is coming up. I mean, it is right now, might be called Tier 2 city, but it's the future Hyderabad of India. Second, on the side of the e-governance, so we have taken many initiatives. I will be discussing two small initiatives. One is the use of e-governance in our Cyber Tehsil. Revenue administration is something which is one of the most challenging, land governance is something which is very, very challenging for a user. And from that perspective, we have taken some initiative to convert our territorial codes, the physical Tehsil codes, into Cyber Tehsil. And I'm very happy to share that our project has been selected as right now for this year's Prime Minister's Excellence Award. It has been shortlisted amongst the top 6. So, and I'm quite confident it will be in the top 2, and this project is going to get the PM Excellence Award. And so I will just show a film. Can you play the film? I think I think some of you will have to bear with me because this film is in Hindi. This project was launched by the Prime Minister on 29th of February, and the film was, film is here? No, film is a separate, or otherwise I'll have to run the YouTube link. So, is it connected? I can run the YouTube link also because there is a hyperlink. This film is in Hindi. All those who understand Hindi, I think, will be, so this is a YouTube link. So if you click this, otherwise I had given a copy of the film in the, you can run this also, it's all right. But if it is connected with the internet, it will run on YouTube.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने लैंड रिकॉर्ड्स को डिजिटाइज करने की जनोपयोगी पहल की है।
प्रॉपर्टी के कागजों को लेकर बहुत उलझने रही है। इसके चलते कि मध्य प्रदेश की सरकार इसमें बहुत बेहतरीन काम कर रही है। आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी का एक और लाभ इस पोर्टल पर आसानी से मिलेगा।
प्रदेश में मुख्यमंत्री श्री मोहन यादव जी ने प्रधानमंत्री जी की दृष्टि को लागू करने के लिए राजस्व न्यायालयों के कंप्यूटराइजेशन की पहल की है। आज संपदा पोर्टल के माध्यम से प्रदेश में रजिस्ट्री ऑनलाइन की जा रही है। रजिस्ट्री के बाद नामांतरण और लैंड रिकॉर्ड के अपडेशन को त्वरित बनाने के लिए मध्य प्रदेश में आज 29 फरवरी 2024 से साइबर तहसील को प्रदेश की सभी तहसीलों में लागू किया जा रहा है। साइबर तहसील के अंतर्गत ग्रामीण और शहरी क्षेत्र के पूर्ण खसरे, जिसमें किसी प्रकार का विवाद नहीं है कि रजिस्ट्री के बाद नामांतरण और रिकॉर्ड का अपडेशन बिना अलग से आवेदन दिए एक एंड टू एंड ऑनलाइन, पेपरलेस, फेसलेस और ऑटोमेटिक प्रणाली से किया जाएगा। इस हेतु RCMS का संपदा, भूलेख तथा सारा पोर्टल से इंटीग्रेशन किया गया है। संपदा पोर्टल पर ऑनलाइन रजिस्ट्री होने के बाद बिना आवेदन दिए RCMS पर स्वतः ही प्रकरण दर्ज हो जाता है। साइबर तहसीलदार द्वारा रजिस्ट्री के बाद दस्तावेजों का ऑनलाइन भू अभिलेखों से मिलान किया जाता है। इसके पश्चात ऑनलाइन सूचना क्रेता, विक्रेता और संबंधी ग्राम के सभी निवासियों को SMS के माध्यम से दी जाती है। साथ ही एक सार्वजनिक इश्तेहार तहसील में चस्पा किया जाता है। पटवारी प्रतिवेदन के लिए एक मेमो भी ऑनलाइन जारी किया जाता है। पटवारी की रिपोर्ट ऑनलाइन प्राप्त की जाती है। दावा आपत्ति प्राप्त न होने की दशा में 10 दिवस पश्चात आदेश पारित कर राजस्व अभिलेखों में अमल किया जा रहा है। पारित आदेश की प्रति क्रेता को घर बैठे ईमेल या व्हाट्सएप पर ही मिल रही है। दावा या आपत्ति होने पर प्रकरण को विवादित मानते हुए क्षेत्रीय तहसीलदार को प्रकरण ऑनलाइन भेजा जाता है।
मैंने अभी जमीन खरीदी, बिना आवेदन दिए मेरा 15 दिन में नामांतरण हो गया, खसरे खतौनी में सब रिकॉर्ड कंप्लीट हो गया। इसलिए मोदी जी व हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, जो उन्होंने काश्तकारों के लिए बहुत सहूलियत की है।
आने वाले समय में सभी प्रकार के अविवादित नामांतरण और बंटवारे जिसमें किसी प्रकार का विवाद नहीं है को भी साइबर तहसील में सम्मिलित किया जाएगा।
This film was made for a political function, so some of it may not have been much relevant. So we can just close the film. We can come back to the presentation. So for those, because the film explains, I mean the film is quite self-explanatory for those who understand Hindi. For others, we will come to the flow next. I can do it next. Next. Yeah, we'll stop here. So just to explain the concept, I will go through this slide. So I don't know how many of you have ever had, to get in contact with tehsils. I do not know much about South India, but it would not be very different. In North India, dealing with tehsils, dealing with land records is a very, very challenging issue. So even in normal case, when you purchase a land, so the purchaser, after the registry is over, you have to make a separate, in the traditional system, you have to make a separate application to tehsil for its mutation. So once the mutation order is issued, and then you have to, of course, then you have to make sure that notices are issued to the interested parties. You have to appear physically in tehsil, in the court. And thereafter, even after the mutation order is issued, you have to purchase patwari for updation of the land record, because it does not happen automatically. We have been able to do, we have now, in the cyber tehsil, which has rolled out in the entire state. So immediately after the sale, the land registry, the data is transferred from the registration portal to our revenue court system, where the case is registered. And then, because we already have captured the mobile numbers and email at the time of the registry, so notices are served to the seller and purchaser through SMS, email, and WhatsApp. This thing also carries a link to file an objection. You can file an online objection if you have any. Simultaneously, we also send this link, this notice, to all the residents of the particular village or the ward, because we have number of programs through which we have databases of the citizen. So in the mutation process, a notice which is supposed to be public was always published only in the tehsil court. So now the advantage is that the notice has actually become public. You can, when the notice reaches the individual villagers, if they know about some problem of they've got some interest in the land, they can file online objection. So in most of the cases, our experience is 95% cases, no objections are filed. So if there is no objection, in fact, we send a memo to Patwari also online. Patwari files his report. So there, he has got on his app, he has got an app which is called Sara app. On the app, there are radio buttons. If he has no objection, he says, he agrees with the mutation, he says yes, and then the mutation is immediately happens. The cyber tehsildar issues the mutation order and the land record is updated. In case he has an objection, he selects no. Then there are another 10 buttons. He says on what ground he has objection. The land is a government land, the land is already mortgaged, or there is some other issue. There are some 9-10 points which have been identified. And he also has a space to write his report. So wherever there are objections, which are about 5% of cases, the case is transferred to the territorial tehsildar. And so the advantage of the whole thing is 95% of the which are undisputed mutation and partition cases are handled automatically by the system, and your mutation and your updation of land record happens in just 20 days. We can improve it because the notice period is 10 days. We can improve it to about, to 13 to 15 days. But right now, because of because our, human resource infrastructure in cyber tehsil is not adequate. So only 10 cyber tehsildars, which are planning to increase to 25, are dealing the work of 1200 codes. So there is saving all around. So this is this flow chart explains how after the online registration at IGRS, data is transferred to our revenue court management system. If the case is fit, right now we are doing it only for the full khasra sales. So if the case is fit for the system checks, then the public notice issued then and there, and the memo is patwari is issued. And if there are objection, yes, then it is transferred to territorial court. If there are no objection, mutation order is passed, land record is updated, and everything, the certified copy, the mutation order, the notice, everything is delivered to this purchaser and seller also online. So this is going to, I have presented this case because I understand there are some civil servants from other states also. This is a model which I think can be replicated, and from the industry, it's a business idea, and you can take it to other states, and other states can also adopt it. It's very simple, and we have been able to do it because our registration system is digitized, our land records are digitized, and the data systems that we have been able to integrate. So next. Can I do it? So I'm not going to talk much about it. Now I'll come to another idea, which is very close to my heart. That's about next. So this is about the single citizen database. So we have talked about databases, we have talked about the integration of databases, and we have also been talking about how we can, improve the experience of the citizen in consuming the services. So I think the key to we have got different databases which are in the silos. So there has to be, we need to do something to integrate these databases. So we have, I know few of the states which have worked on the similar idea. Karnataka, they have got something like Kutumba, Rajasthan has got Bhamasha, and Haryana works on the Parivar Pehchan Patra. We call it Samagra, or it's a family ID, it is a state ID. And we are working on to build up a single citizen database. Some people ask me why why are you creating another ID when you already have Aadhaar? Aadhaar has a challenge because it's a biometric data, because there's a biometric data in Aadhaar, there are legal issues. Aadhaar cannot be used as a key for integrating databases. So this family ID or state ID has got some features. One, it connects the entire family. It also is a state ID. It also has got an individual ID. And then this ID can be conveniently used across databases, and this becomes a unique key which integrates databases. So, and what we do, this Samagra ID is as true as Aadhaar because we do eKYC with Aadhaar. Next. So, in my idea, the key features, in our idea rather, the key features of this state ID or single citizen database has to be that most of the state citizens have to, be included in this, but the whole system has to be voluntary. The family structure is dynamic because there are birth, death, and marriages. So we are working on to integrate this. Right now, we have not been able to integrate, but we have requested to Government of India to give API services of the civil registration system. So birth and deaths are already there. So once we get, the data will get automatically updated. And we are giving a lot of importance to the citizen because citizen should have the right to correct the data, and the data should be used with the consent of the citizen. And we are linking different databases, and the biggest advantage of the whole idea is that it becomes a single source of truth, because there is so suppose a person has got, because there are two, once you try to integrate databases, there are two kinds of databases in the government. One is mostly the information database, which is like about your caste, which is about your income, which is about your domicile, which is about your BPL status. The other is about the benefit stack. So mainly the services that you're providing, mainly the various schemes where you give different kind of incentives. So there has to be a single source of truth. What happens that a person has taken a different income certificate when he goes to take a loan, he has taken an income certificate which shows that he has got an income of 10 lakh rupees. Tomorrow when he has to apply for another assistance from the government, he shows that his income is only about 2.5 lakh rupees per. So how do you develop the single source of truth? So this Samagra works because of the integration of the databases. So if I have to take the income of the applicant, I do not rely on his declaration. I do not need any document. It's purely paperless. I just need to, I just need to take his Samagra and I will fetch the data from the income certificate databases. Next. So these are the benefits of Samagra, or we can say single citizen database. So this is address proof across state because it's a state ID. Because with the help of this, you can integrate databases. I think the most important advantage is it becomes a single source of truth because of integration with different databases and a common key. And simplified application procedures, because now when there is a successful use case in Madhya Pradesh, I'll talk about it, which is Ladli Behna Yojana, and we could give benefit to 125 lakh women in just 1 month, where we transferred 1,250 crore rupees per annum. It was launched just before the elections in Madhya Pradesh, and many people say that BJP had a thumping win in Madhya Pradesh, both in Assembly and the Lok Sabha, because of this scheme. Not only because the benefit, because the way it was implemented. It was not the benefit alone, because it was we could implement that program very smoothly without a single complaint. So most of the data is pre-populated. We only need Samagra ID. So I'll talk about when I talk about the program, then the moment you give Samagra ID, the data from income, caste, your scholarship, everything is fetched from whatever is needed, and you don't have to give anything. Everything is pre-populated. So there's no need to file physical documents because it is verified from those databases. There's electronic verification of credentials. And overall, the whole scheme is faceless and paperless, making citizen experience very, very good. And another advantage of this is that now we are talking about saturating, so we want to find who all are eligible, because the most deprived person is on the other side of the digital literacy, and often he's not able to, avail the government programs. So once we have the data, we can also identify that who could be the eligible beneficiaries for the program, and we can reach to them. And so we can saturate. So we have been very successful in doing this, and deduplication of beneficiaries, because if you have Samagra ID, so you cannot, once you fill Samagra ID, you cannot take benefit of the same scheme or double. So in many programs where you cannot take a double benefit. Next. So how to build single citizen database? There are different models. We are working on a model where doing enrollment by citizens themselves are enrolling, and they're doing eKYC with Aadhaar. We have developed a utility. Next. So of course, there are issues that what are the possible against this? Will it become a tool for surveillance? Will it lead to a political misuse? Will it breach the privacy? So we are very, very careful about it. We have built in it in the design. The data is not going to be with the IT department. The data is going to be with the individual departments. And consent is given. Consent has a lot of importance. And there are multiple factor authentication before a bulk data could be shared to address the issue of political misuse. Next. So I think I'll skip this. We have a next. So we have a population of about 8.5 crore. We already have about 10 crore Samagra ID, but there are about 1.5 crores duplicate. We are on a drive to do the eKYC of this Samagra ID with Aadhaar. So we have been able to cover 4 crores, and we are hoping that by the end of this year, we would be able to do the eKYC of the entire most of the individuals. And so this is what I'm saying, that you can fetch different data. You enter Samagra ID because you can fetch demographic details through Aadhaar. You can fetch photograph which is there in the Aadhaar. You can fetch caste certificate, domicile certificate, income, mark sheets, status of, I mean, you can also check whether the Aadhaar number is seated with a bank account or not. So we are using it massively. We are using it massively for our DBT program also. Landowner details, khasra details. So you may, if you're owning land, because we're also integrating this ID in all our land databases. So if I have land in multiple villages, so it's a great tool for giving, for if your land is to be mortgaged, we have provided the service through API to the banks. So the banks can see your all land records, and they can, based on your, you have to go to the bank, and when you give your, you do your eKYC, they can fetch the land record, and they don't need any other documentation for giving a loan or placing your property on mortgage or for giving KCC. Next. So basically, these are the stacks that we are developing. This is the information stack, that is the benefit stack. And whenever we have to give benefit, we can check, because most of the benefits are dependent on your basic, profile. So the profile can be picked up from here. We don't need any, document. Next. So this is the case I was talking about, Ladli Behna Yojana. We had elections in, I think, September, October, and the model code of conduct was likely to be launched, was to be, issued somewhere in the September, and we had very little time. So 25th March 2023, the Chief Minister conceived this program. The scheme was to be designed and it was to be implemented. And he gave us just 2 months time that I want it to be totally transparent, without any complaint. I want everybody to get the benefit. And we had, the eligibility was that all women who are in the age group 23 to 60, they are non-income tax payee, they have land less than 2.5 acre. So we, using Samagra ID, we created a platform where the women had to, and we organized camps in the villages, where the women had to go to that place in the camp and had to just give her picture, not even biometric, and give her, she had to first get her Samagra ID created, do the KYC with Aadhaar, no other document, and simply a declaration that I'm eligible for this. We integrated this with we took up service of the PAN, API service of the PAN. We could find out who all are, income tax payee, who all are not, and we could also verify the the total land available with the family by fetching data from our land records. Next. So only Samagra ID was taken. eKYC was necessary, and every applicant has been verified by OTP validation on mobile number registered under Samagra. We did integration with API integration with PAN data, land data. Then we said that we'll use Aadhaar-based payment system. You will not believe when we started, there were only 25 lakh women out of 125 lakh eligible who had their Aadhaar seated in the bank account. And in a span of 1 month, because they were to get a benefit of, 1,000 rupees per month, every woman, and the Chief Minister was quite concerned that, the ex-Chief Minister, that should not happen that because you're insisting on DBT, the beneficiaries do not get the first installment. Because if they do not get the first installment, it is a political issue. So then he will not get the political mileage. And you'll not believe all women, we may consider them to be they were poor, they were illiterate, but they all went to the bank and got their Aadhaar seated in the bank account, and we could transfer, the amount through DBT. Next. That's it, I'm done. So this online portal was developed in 30 days, 125 lakh applications were processed in 35 days, and the first payment of 1,250 crores happened. Next. That's it, thank you very much. Thank you for giving me time. I will do the announcement. So thank you, Fahim, for reminding me. So we are planning to have an event, we are planning to have a similar event with GovConnect in Madhya Pradesh, and we will have it in Bhopal. Bhopal is a beautiful city. I invite all of you. So please do come, and it's going to be a good event. So all the best. Thank you.